Hey everybody, welcome to our Amazing Race recap with the Roberts Family 365. This is episode number 3,
yes.
The Mega Leg.
Oh my goodness.
And guess what? This is going to be our third country that we get to go to.
Yes, Italy.
Yeah, we're starting off in Bologna.
Yes, I know. Bringing all the suspense and the drama.
Yeah, yeah. Like who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen this episode?
Oh my god.
Yeah, let's jump right in. We actually started off pretty good. Our last leg, we came in number 2.
I know. 2 times in a row.
2 in a row. We're killing it.
I know.
Go
I'm so
Roberts.
happy.
Go Roberts.
Oh my goodness. And we are feeling the anxiety of being in the first group.
Oh my goodness, you guys! If the pressure of everyone racing for $1 million, you can't make a mistake, and if you come in last, then you go home.
Going home.
There is no second chances. There are no second chances.
Yeah, are no second chances, and we are feeling it. So,
oh my goodness! So we start off with the clue saying, "Hey, you need to go to the Arco del Toro, but you need to drive
stick shift."
Yeah.
Now, I had been practicing my stick shift driving in preparation for the Amazing Race. Okay. I did not know how to drive stick shift before the Amazing Race, so
tell them about it, baby.
I'm feeling good about my stick shift driving skills, even though the episode does not show that I'm feeling great. Listen, but I felt pretty confident.
Everybody was jerking. My wife wasn't jerking so much because she knew what she was doing.
Shout out to Lumumba's parents for helping me learn how to stick shift drive, helping us both learn how to stick shift drive. Thank you, Lumumba's parents.
Yeah, well, thank you, parents. You
but
guys did
one
great.
of the things that you guys don't know is that the cars are the new energy efficient cars, so they cut off.
Yes.
And when you stop, and so it feels like you are stalled, but you're not stalled because it's just the energy efficiency happening. And I did not know that.
Yeah, and then you start the whole process again,
exactly.
turning off the engine.
So I'm literally turning off the car because I'm thinking I'm stalling. But anyway.
But she got us there perfectly. So we got down the hill to the Arco del Toro, and guess what? Lumumba reads the clue, and Glenda's like, let me read the clue. And I'm like...
I literally, so they don't show that in the edit, but I literally said, let me see the clue, let me see the clue. And Lumumba's just running, trying to find people to help us find this location. And so we take off on foot.
Listen, that was my fault, okay? We were supposed to find the it was the Piazza del Franklin Delano Roosevelt in Italy, of all places. And I'm like, where is it? So I take off running. She's like, Lumumba, I don't know what's going on here, but maybe we should do something else. Meanwhile, Michael and Marcus, they're looking at us like, y'all running on foot. Keep it going. So,
oh my God.
Listen, that took us about 45 minutes circling to figure out. Then finally it's like
running around circling, like running on foot in the streets of Italy circling. Yeah. Asking person after person, which you have to stop, and that takes time to stop, ask person after person. So that added to our time. Then we finally
read the clue.
You looked at the clue again, and you were like, "Oh my God, we had to."
I should have listened. I should have listened to my wife. So we get in the car and we head for Piazza Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The only issue is that the streets of Italy are almost like a maze.
Yeah.
You know, and it feels like they move every time you pass the street.
Yeah. So this is where you kind of have to use, the map, but you also kind of have to use your senses to kind of pay attention to like where the parking is. And it was when you're already frantic because we're behind. So we're frantic because we know that we're behind. And then not being able to find the actual location. We had the vicinity, but we didn't have the actual location. Like it took us so long to figure out where the parking is, and I literally had to go, you know what? I see this parking sign. I'm just going to go, in the direction of the parking sign and keep going until I see where there's a parking location. And it ended up being where you had to literally look at your senses and pay attention to your surroundings.
And I thank God for my wife taking quick action, because we circled the block literally about an hour.
Yeah.
And at this point, we are about an hour and 30 minutes behind everyone else because it took us so long to find the directions. Yeah. And they gave us 2 choices. So once we found the piazza, it was a detour. And the detour said that we could choose head of cheese or head of the class.
Yeah.
Head of cheese was where we would have to carry an 88-pound just block of cheese around the city. And we did not want to do anything else that had to do with following directions on the map. Yeah, because
you had to find locations to like pick it up and drop it off. And we were like, you know what? No more directional challenges.
Yeah, and I said, I'm a teacher. Let's go to school. Lord Jesus.
Oh,
that was
we clearly don't know our anatomy.
Yes, we don't. We had to learn a 16th century anatomy lesson.
Yeah.
That talked about that described the muscular system and the skeletal system, and it was an 8-minute lecture, and we had to absorb everything, then take a test afterward.
Yeah.
Needless to say, it was terrible. We got there right after Linton and Sharik, which made us feel good. Okay, we were still in there.
Yeah.
And we came right before Rich and Dom.
Yeah. Yep. So we're in the back of the pack. We already know.
Yeah.
And it takes us a few tries to actually get through this challenge.
Yeah. The biggest issue was that the instructor kept pronouncing words, in his native dialect. Yeah. So he kept saying emirs. And we were getting all of them, but I was like, what is the emirs? What is the emirs? And so finally, as Rich and Dom, approached, they asked to collaborate. And so I guess we just gave information to them. And we said, hey, listen, you could just split it up, divide and conquer. That was the best we could do since we couldn't work together. And while we were doing that, Dom said, man, it sounds like he has an accent.
Yeah.
Or something to that. And I was like, wait a minute. What if emirs is humorous? Ding! The light bulb went off. So that tiny interaction changed everything.
It really did.
We went downstairs to take the test, and
we passed the test.
And we passed the test finally. And we were it took us about 45 minutes to get through that activity. Yeah. So at this point, the time is just piling on.
Yeah.
And we're 2 hours.
Yeah, it's probably about that.
Yeah.
2 hours. Yeah.
And behind. So 2 hours behind. Not feeling good at this point.
No.
But we know we're still in it because we saw Rich and Dom and we're heading out before them.
Let me say what I was literally feeling. I think because we had done so well the first 2 legs, and we are here for our son. We're not just here to just like have fun. Like I didn't give myself the liberty of just going on the Amazing Race to just having a good time. It was a sacrifice for us to go. It was, left my, I took time off of my job to go, which, most people do. But it was a major sacrifice for us for this different, like, individual situation that we're in. And we knew that this was huge because this was something that we were doing for our family, for our future son. And so I think realizing how much of a sacrifice it was to be here and that we have been doing so well and to think about having to go home after like doing so well, which means we are a strong team doing well, like to me meant that we were a strong team. It just was like devastating. I was so devastated thinking about that. And I just couldn't.
Yeah, and this is just the 3rd leg, so I'm a little bit more, even keel, and I understand that the way the Amazing Race works, there's ebbs and flows, and then the other part of it was we realized that it was a mega leg. They said it was, which meant that even though we may be behind, that meant that we have after the first roadblock and the first detour, we have another roadblock and another detour, and so that gave, in my mind, us a shot for staying in the race. Yeah. So at this point, we're both exhausted and we know we're far behind, but I'm like, let's just stay focused, and see if we can get to the next roadblock, which was,
thank God,
who wants a break?
Which it was Lumumba.
Yeah.
Thank God it was the Ducati challenge because my husband, oh my goodness, he was so excited about it. So excited. And I knew that was an indicator for me because I'm still learning my husband. I don't know what he can do with bikes or what he can put together and whatever. But he was excited about it. I'm like, I'm confident in my husband. I know he's going to kill it. So even though we get there and we're, behind, I was very, very, very like positive. And I knew that you were going to do well.
Confident. Yeah, confident. Thank you, baby.
Very confident. I'm so happy. Very confident.
You guys, my wife is so supportive. We got to the Ducati Challenge 9th. Mind you, we left, started off the leg 2nd. Yeah. So we are way behind, right? And so, we just get to work.
Yeah.
And as I'm sitting there, I'm so excited to just manipulate this machine, but I know I have to stay laser focused. I just want to do it right. So I'm very focused on what the mechanic was saying and what he was doing. I kept going back to check, and all the while I'm sitting here watching other people leave.
Yes. Now, we're sitting, the ones who are not doing the roadblock, I'm hearing that they had been there for hours. Yeah. And I know in my head, it is not going to take my husband hours to put this, this motorcycle together. Yeah. So we end the Ducati challenge with my husband. He had gotten the first check.
Yeah.
And hey, I'm sticking beside him. I'm sticking beside my husband.
Yes.
Because I just know he is not going to take hours and hours. In my head, I know. Yeah. So we're still there.
We're still in the race. Yes. We're still in the race. We're still I'm working, and little by little, I'm watching everybody leave. And so finally, it's just me.
Yeah.
It's only me. Yeah. And, on the inside, I'm feeling like, you know what? Just stay focused, because we're still in it. We're still in it. Yeah. I was so grateful that this was a mega leg.
Yes.
But this was not the start of the mega leg that we were expecting.
Exactly.
Not right. At all. You guys, to find out more, you're gonna have to watch the next episode.
Yes.
Part 2.
Listen, cliffhanger. We're giving you cliffhangerness. Yes. We are giving you drama at the end of episode 3.
We weren't trying, but it happened. So
oh my goodness,
you guys. So stay tuned. Keep watching and to learn more. This was Amazing Race episode number 3 with the Roberts Family 365. Woo! Where can they find us, baby?
RobertsFamily365.com.
That's right.